Hi, I'm Kustanbauter, and I've been living with Parkinson's disease for 14 years. Like most of you, we all have daily struggles. And one of the biggest struggles that I have is with my balance. One day I wake up, my balance feels great. The next day I wake up and I feel like I just spent the night on a ship with 30-foot waves. I'm rocking all over the place. I can't keep my balance. And so that becomes very frustrating. So one of the things I try to do on a daily basis is to work on balance exercises. But one of the other things that has really helped me is I've evaluated and I participated in 5 different exercises that maybe that you've hadn't considered, but that can really help you improve your balance. So I'm going to talk about the 5 because I've actually participated in these activities and exercises, and they've dramatically helped me with my balance. And I want to share them with you so that you can improve your balance, your strength, and your flexibility. So before we get started, I just have a brief disclaimer. Before you start any exercise program, please review the program with your healthcare professional to make sure that it's appropriate for your specific needs. And get the approval from your physician prior to starting any new exercise program. Now, all these exercises I'm going to talk about are based on my own personal experience with these exercises. So I'm going to share some of the benefits that I've had, but I'm also going to talk about some of the cons if you're new or if you're a little bit skeptical, because I know I'd be skeptical with some of them. I've never taken that before. The first one I want to talk about is yoga. And a lot of times we've heard of yoga, but we're not really sure what it is, or maybe we've never participated in a yoga class. Yoga is a series of different moves that work on your balance, your strength, and your flexibility. And I can honestly say that by doing yoga, before I started yoga, if someone told me to bend down and touch my toes, I might be able to get to mid-shin. Now, after taking yoga, it's dramatically improved my flexibility. Now I can actually bend down and touch my toes, and I can spread my feet and put my hands on the floor. So one of the things that I'm going to talk about too is consistency. You need to be consistent with these. You can't take one class and say, oh, I don't see any benefits. If you decide to do one of these 5 exercises that I'm talking about, please make sure that you stay consistent with it. But one of the other benefits that I really like about yoga, and I'll give you an example of a pose where you're doing a warrior pose where your arms are out, your legs are bent, and what you're really focusing on is keeping your weight over your center of gravity. And so that's really taught me when I'm consciously making moves is to make sure that I have my weight over my center of gravity. Because when you tend to lean, that's when you're going to fall over. Or you lean backwards, that's when you fall over. And so yoga's really helped me focus on staying over my center of gravity and improving my balance. So I can say that it's dramatically helped me improve my balance, because there are a number of exercises too where you lift your leg off the ground. And again, all these can be modified if you go up to the instructor before class and tell them what your situation is, and they'll give you modifications as they progress through class. But I highly recommend yoga because it's an overall body workout. It's going to work on your large muscle groups in your legs, your shoulders, arms, and back with some of the different moves. There's up dog, down dog, there's different warrior poses. So it's going to help you with the strength. So it's an overall great body workout, but it's really the 2 big things that yoga's really helped me do is improve my balance and improve my flexibility. And the other thing about yoga is that you're very mindful and you're working on your breathing as you're doing this. So it also helps to reduce any anxiety that you have because you're staying in the present moment and you're focusing on breathing. So they're the benefits. Now, the cons. Now, if you're new to yoga, and I'm going to be perfectly honest with you, if you're new to yoga, it's just like you're new to any other exercise. You're going to get sore for the first day or 2 because you're using muscles that you haven't used in the past. So especially your large muscle groups. So it's important that you understand that going into it and just work through it and take your time, but consistency is the key. So the first one was yoga. The second one I'd like to talk about is Tai Chi. And Tai Chi, I've seen it called meditation in motion. And Tai Chi is a series of slow, deliberate movements that you're working on your balance. And again, it's keeping your weight over your center of gravity and using your core. and it's also stretching and flexibility at the same time. So if you do a nice slow movement and you do it in the opposite direction, they're very slow, deliberate movements. But as you notice, I'm remaining upright and I'm keeping my weight over my center of gravity. And also, because the movements are slow, it allows me to take my time and think about the movement and think about staying over my center of gravity before I take my next step. And that's really helped me in my daily life, because make sure that before I take that next step that I keep my weight in my core and over my center of gravity. Tai Chi is really, it's done great things for my balance. And in terms of flexibility, you are using muscles and you're doing a lot of stretching. So that has helped with flexibility, not to the extent that yoga has helped me. And it's also helped me with my strength, because especially in my legs, because you're using a lot of your leg muscles for the different poses. And when you engage those big, large muscles, it's really going to help improve the strength in your legs. Now, the benefits are, it's helped me greatly, again, with my balance, because it's consciously made me think about keeping my weight over my center of gravity. And it's helped me with my strength and flexibility. The con is, I'm a person that likes to keep on the move and keep things going. Tai Chi is very slow and very deliberate. So when you first start, you may get bored. You may think this is boring because it's slow, but it's designed for that. But as you progress through it, you'll notice the improvements in your balance and your flexibility. And so if you do it several times, you'll get used to the slowness if you're the type of person that likes to keep moving. So that's a con that you may experience, especially as a beginner. I know that's one of the problems that I had with it at first. So those are the pros and the cons of Tai Chi. Now, the next one I'd like to talk about is boxing. And a lot of people say, boxing? Boxing, how's that helping with my balance? Well, if you ever watch boxing and you look at the way the boxers are, they're always their weight is over their legs, and it's in their feet, and they're standing upright. They're not leaning forward or leaning backward. Well, they're leaning backwards if someone's trying to punch them, but most of the time they don't want to lean backwards because you're going to fall over. So if you look at boxers, their center of gravity is right over their body. And so boxing is really going to help you with your balance, because as you're moving, you want to keep your body upright. You want to make sure that you're deliberate with your steps and you're keeping your weight in your legs. And the other thing is it really helps with your strength and flexibility. Again, you're using the large muscle groups. So you're doing things like jabs, cross, uppercut, hook. So there's a lot of different motions. So you're using a lot of different muscle groups. So that's going to help you with your strength and flexibility, because think about when you're doing these motions, you're reaching, you're stretching. So you're getting nice stretches through your shoulders. And then also with your legs, because if you think about boxers, they're always moving and back and forth, and they're bending up and down. So that's going to help with the large muscle groups in your legs. So one of the benefits of boxing is it helps your balance, because it teaches you to stay over your feet. You keep your weight over your feet, even when you're stepping. So if I'm stepping forward, my weight's still over my back foot. And so that's gonna translate into your daily activities. When you take a step, I'm walking the dog. I'm taking a step, I'm putting my weights over top of my foot. And then it's also going to help you with your movement and your strength with using the large muscle groups. Now, the nice things about it is you do it in a group setting. And by doing it in a group setting, you're getting that social interaction, which is a key to helping us prevent isolation with Parkinson's. So one of the things I really like about boxing is, and I do it at least twice a week down in my basement, I do some shadow boxing. I can go at my own pace. It's high energy. I put earphones in. I listen to exciting music. I think I'm Rocky out there fighting Apollo Creed. So I have a lot of different moves and things that I do to help me work on my balance and work on my cardio. So boxing is also going to give you a great cardio workout. Now, the cons would be, if you're new to boxing, it can be intimidating, especially if you go into a group setting and you're not used to boxing or wearing boxing gloves. It may be intimidating, but just work through that and you'll be able to stay consistent with it. The other thing about boxing is, I know when I'm learning something new now, after having Parkinson's for so long, It takes me a little bit of time if you give me multiple steps. So if you're working on a program and you're working on one of the boxing programs and they give you multiple steps where they jab, cross, uppercut, and then cross, then you may have to think about it. So because it's a series of different moves, it may take you a little bit of time to get used to doing those moves. So don't feel bad if it takes you a little bit of time if they say jab and you don't know what to do. You'll learn the different moves with boxing: the jab, the cross, the uppercut, and then hook. So that would be one of the cons. But overall, boxing is a great overall total body workout. It's great for cardio, and it's great for your balance, your strength, and it's going to give you a lot of flexibility in your shoulders and legs. Now, the next one I don't have here with me, but it's aquatic therapy. And aquatic therapy is beneficial for people, especially if you really have problems with your balance, that especially on land. So maybe you need to use a walker or a cane or some other assisted device. The nice thing about the aquatic therapy is when you get in the pool, the buoyancy in the water helps to hold you up, and that's really going to be of a benefit, so that it's going to help you with your balance. Because I know when I'm in the pool, I can lift my one leg off the ground in the water with no problem. But if I try to do that on land, I might be a little bit wobbly or unstable. So it's a great way to work on your balance. Another benefit of aquatic therapy is when you get into the warmer water, it's going to help relax your muscles, and it's going to help open you up and get rid of some of the stiffness that you may be experiencing. Just being in the warm water for that extended period of time is great for loosening the muscles and getting rid of some of the stiffness. And then also, it doesn't put as much pressure on your joints. Now, the aquatic therapies, there's a number of different classes you can take. There's some that are what they call tone and fit, where you just do a lot of stretching and that slow movements. You work on all your fingers, your wrists, your arms, legs, back. It's a head, shoulders, knees and toes, right? It's all a part of total body workout. But then for the ones that like a little bit more of a challenge, there's also water aerobics. Now I do it, this morning I just happened to do a water aerobics class, which I do every Saturday morning. And one of the benefits is I'm in a group setting, but the instructor does a great job of incorporating different exercises. We do a lot of aerobic type of activity in the water with different movements, but then we also use the foam weights to do some weight exercises and use the noodles for balance and some other things. So I highly recommend aquatic therapy, especially if you don't like to swim. You get into the pool, you're buoyant, and it's really going to help your balance. It's going to help you feel good when you get out, because you're a lot looser with being in the warm water. So it's great for balance, flexibility, and just an overall gentle workout. And then, so those are the benefits. And then the con is if for people that are a little bit shy about either wearing a swimming suit, or whether you're a little bit apprehensive about getting in the water because maybe you didn't grow up around water and you're not a great swimmer. The nice thing is those are all in the shallower water, and they do have chest buoys and things that you can put on to help keep you floating, so that you don't have to worry about if you fall, you're only falling in the water. So that's a real benefit. So those will be some minor cons. But if you haven't tried an aquatic therapy class, I highly recommend them. I try to do at least one a week, and if I can, I try to squeak 2 in. And then the last one, number 5, is dance. Now, my standard joke is that I'm not a very good dancer because I spent the money my mom gave me for dance lessons on other things. But dance with the music, and it's a great cognitive exercise, but it's great for balance too, because a lot of the dance moves, again, you're keeping your weight over your center of gravity, you're keeping your weight in your legs and in your heels, and it's great for your posture, it's great for your movement. And if you think about it, if people that experience freezing, a lot of times, if you listen to music, just the beat of that music is going to help you overcome some of the freezing episodes that you may have. So dancing, whether it's ballroom dancing, whether it's Zumba, because I've taken a Zumba class, which is a little bit more high energy and you're moving. Now, they usually stick me in the back because otherwise I embarrass myself up in the front of the class because I'm not a real great dancer. But there's a lot of different types there's tango, there's line dancing. So pick the one that you find appropriate, but all those are going to help you with your balance, because your balance in motion because you're remaining upright and you're staying over your center of gravity. So those are the 5: yoga, Tai Chi, boxing, aquatic therapy, and dancing. And they're gonna, if you haven't tried them, give them a try because they're really gonna help you with your balance, your flexibility, and your strength. So I hope this was beneficial. If you liked it, please subscribe to the channel and please hit the like button if you like this video. And I hope to see you on future videos, but please subscribe so that we can build a community where we can share our success stories. We can help each other overcome challenges. And we're just building an overall community that can help people with Parkinson's and their families lead a great quality of life. Thanks again, and I hope to see you on future episodes.